Welcome back. It is the true story of the triumph of love over life's obstacles.
One of the authors of Long, Long Ago, A Love Story That Is True, is here in studio. We have Elwin Wallace joining us right now. Welcome, Elwin. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, the book, actually, my wife and I, we never intended to write it. And what had happened was that how it all began was about 45 years ago. I had received a wonderful position in Germany as a regional manager in Munich for the Ruhrgebiet area. And I had on my way to Munich, I had an hour layover in Frankfurt at the train station. So I thought, well, what shall I do for an hour?
Start writing a book.
Yeah, well, I know. I'll go in and have a wonderful German beer. So I walked into the restaurant at the train station, looked around. It was basically empty, except over by the wall was a beautiful blonde German girl sitting there reading a book. And so I walked over and I said, may I sit down, in my broken German? And she looked around and she saw how empty everything was, and she thought that was rather funny. And so she kind of laughed and said, sure. So we were together for about an hour. We struck up a wonderful connection. And to make a long story short, we fell in love, and we were together for about a year. Wasn't the right time. I had to come back to America. And she had just gotten out of medical school. And so 43 years later, I happened to write her a Christmas card. She answered me, and we got married 2 years ago.
Wow. What a story.
And this is her, this picture that we're showing. Can we get a close-up of that again, Adrian?
No.
Is this her?
Yes.
Okay.
Lieselette Mettler. And she's, in the interim, she's become a renowned doctor and of gynecology. And she worked in the jungles of Peru. She was an Olympic swimmer. She's a very accomplished
Fabulous.
person.
Now, during those 43 years that you were apart,
Yes.
what happened? What were you doing? What was she doing? Were you married to
Well,
other people?
she got married and had a family. I got married and had a family. Her husband passed away some 7 or 8 years ago. And I had a very, very happy, friendly divorce some 20 years ago. And so we both found ourselves there. And so in any event, I wrote her a Christmas card. She answered me. And I said, she mentioned that she was going to be in Orlando, Florida at a medical conference. And I said, when are you coming to California? She said, well, I'm not coming to California. And she said, why don't you come down here? And I said, well, all right, I will. So I went down for a day and a half, and it was like an immediate reconnection, like we'd never been apart.
Oh, so sweet.
And so that was how that was, but we never intended to write a book. But we told the story to so many people, and everybody said, you got to write about it. You got to write about it. No, we're not interested in writing about a book. You've got to write about it. And finally, we were persuaded to do so. And as I think you mentioned, it is available on Amazon.
Yeah, we could throw up that full screen right now. Yeah, that's if you're interested in this book, just go to Amazon.com.
And
So-
interestingly enough, we're in the beginning stages of a movie that's being made out of it.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
Excellent.
that
So
should
we'll
be
have to
quite
look out for
interesting.
that too.
Yeah.
Definitely. Never lose hope, right?
Well, that's right, and this was the thing that inspired us. So many people said, it is such an inspirational book, and so many people have given up hope. And it's such an incredibly strong love story that you must write about it, and that you really kind of owe this, to get it out there.
Excellent.
So-
Sounds great.
I was
sure.
convinced, and that was it.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We
It's my
appreciate
pleasure.
it. Good luck with the book. Check it out on Amazon.
Yep.
It sounds like a wonderful book.
I'm sure lots of people will want to read that. We appreciate you coming in this morning.
My pleasure.
All right.
And stay with us. We have much more for you.